You guys are in for a treat today. I've got a ton of new products to test out on camera with you, and I got this look using all of the products today. Hello and welcome. If you are new, my name is Rachel, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. I've got a ton of stuff to test out, some drugstore, some indie. I've got the new e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands. I've got the new brush set from Singe Beauty by Angelica Nyqvist. I've got the new Blend Bunny cheek and lip oil collection to test out. And I have an eyeshadow palette from an indie brand called Ladybug Glow. So if you are interested in seeing any of these things in action, then stay tuned. It's coming at you right now. I will link everything down in the description box that I use on camera as well as off camera. Let me know your thoughts as I'm going through this. Have you picked any of these products up? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Let's go. All right, so we are gonna start with the eyes first, and I'm actually going to use the Ladybug Glow Galaxia Magica palette. I did talk about this brand in a new makeup releases video a couple weeks ago, and they saw the video and asked if they could send this to me in PR, and I said, yes. It looks like an absolutely beautiful spring color story. So I'm ready to play. I've never used the brand before. I don't know anything about their formulas. So that's why I'm doing my eyes first, because I'm scared otherwise then I may get fallout. Let me know if you've used the brand before. I've seen a couple creators here on YouTube use their products before. And then with that eyeshadow palette, I'm going to be using my Singe beauty brushes. It has taken everything in me to not reach for these before this video because I wanted to save it for the video. So this is a new brand from Angelica Nyqvist here on YouTube. I will link her channel down below. I'm sure you know who she is, but if you don't, you should. And she came out with a 5-piece brush set. The brushes look and feel so luxuriously soft and beautiful and just fun. Love, love. So I'm excited to dip into these. I'm gonna go into the shade Momentum up here, this really pretty like peachy pink with the Singe E03, kind of the biggest fluffy brush. Just gonna pick that up. It looks quite pastel, so I don't know how this is gonna work out. We're gonna find out. And I've already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I really like this brush. It's a fluffy brush, which I always love a fluffy blending brush, but it's slightly tapered in the middle. So when you're putting in your crease, it is pinpointing the actual like eye socket, but also blending out around it. Very cool. Very interesting shape. And that shade looked beautiful. Now, I did use a fluffy brush, so it did make it a little more sheer, but that is what I want. If you want a little more impact, you probably want to go in with a smaller brush, more dense brush, but I love it. I love it. So now, I don't know what to do.
1 hour later.
I literally just sat here and stared at the palette for like a good 90 seconds because there's so many things I want to do, but I'm not sure what I want to do today. I'm going to go in with Universal, which is like a cool tone brown. I'm going to take the E02 from Singe, and I'm just going to basically place this a little lower in the crease. It actually almost has a purple undertone. My eyelids are so dry today. I have extremely oily, acne-prone skin, but sometimes my eyelids are very dry. So I have the best of both worlds. I'm gonna go in with the E04 brush, which is a little more dense, and it's kind of like flat-ish. I'm gonna pick up that same shade Universal, and I'm gonna more pack it in the outer corner just to get some more impact there. I'm gonna go back in with Momentum, that peach shade, and just try to bring that back a little bit. So I will say that shade Universal on my lid, it looks very purple. Like in here, it looks almost like a taupey brown, but on the lid, it pulls more purple. I don't hate that. I like purple, but just wanted to let you know. All right, now I'm gonna go in with the NYX Glitter Primer all over the lid, and I'm gonna use a couple different shimmers. I'm gonna use Milky Way, which looks like a duochrome from like blue to purple, and then I'm gonna use Stardust more in the inner part of my eye. So let's start with Milky Way. That looks really pretty. Wow. Very pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with Stardust. Very pretty. It looks like it's almost like an iridescent shade. And I'm gonna put this more on the inner part of my eye. Very pretty. Yeah, that's an iridescent duochrome. Because in my mirror looking down here, it looks like a yellowish green, but in the pan, it's pink. And this shade is a lot less textured. Like I'm getting less fallout than that first shimmer shade that I used. Ooh, that is really pretty. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna put on some foundation, concealer, and some powder in my T-zone. I don't have anything new for those steps, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Everything else that's on my face that I did off camera, I will link down in the description box below. And I forgot that I actually wanted to put on one of the, there's a long hair there. I wanted to put on one of the Blend Bunny lip oils just to like have it moisturize my lips while I'm getting ready. And I definitely want to use the clear one for that. Now, I did order the clear one as well as the orange one, but I received 2 extra ones. I don't know if that was on purpose or by accident. I'd like to think it was on purpose, but it probably wasn't. Blend Bunny doesn't know who I am. I did pick up these 2, one from each collection, the Bare But There Clear Gloss in the shade Barely There. And then they also sent the Bare But There Baby Girl one, which is the bright like pink. And then I ordered the Bring the Juice one in Juicy, this orange. And they also sent the purple one called Ripe. So very excited to try these. I'm gonna put on the clear one while I get ready. And then probably at the end to finish my look, I'll put one of these on with a lip liner. So that's what we'll do. So first of all, the packaging is super chubby, has like a slight minty smell to it. Really nice feeling. It reminds me of my favorite lip oil, which is the Fenty Skin Cherry Lip Oil. This one's a little oilier though. That one's a little thicker. If you've used the ColourPop lip oils, I'd say it's a little thicker than that, but I definitely get that oily feeling. It's not sticky, it's not super thick, but it's not super thin that I feel like it's gonna go away either. And it did have a minty smell, but I don't feel any kind of burning or minty tingle, nothing. It's very pleasant. Okay, great. We're gonna leave this on for a while. Let's see how it feels after a bit. Okay, listen, I'm scared. I'm a little frightened, but I did pick up one of the e.l.f. Halo Glow, the beauty wands, one of the contours and one of the highlights. I didn't pick up the blush because I actually bought the Blend Bunny blush palette, which we'll use in a little bit. And the blushes looked super shimmery, which is not my thing. It's just not my thing. If it's your thing, that's good. It's just not my thing. Let me use the contour. I did get the shade Light Medium. The shade Light looked very cool toned, which I don't prefer. And this one looks a little more, actually kind of olive, which, listen, I'm not getting my hopes up, but it would be great if it turned out neutral olive on my skin. So it comes in a little tiny thing with a floof, but it's pretty stiff, hard floof. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I never apply my cream products onto my face and then blend it because I just get too scared. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand and pick it up with my brush. I feel like that's the safest way for me. And does it have a mechanism where you can open and close it? That would be great if it did, but I don't know if that's the case. It doesn't seem like that's the case, so that kind of sucks. Okay, so I just got some out on the back of my hand and I bought a brand new e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. This is my 4th one. I love this brush. It's my favorite brush for cream cheek products, and it's very affordable. Okay, so I'm gonna pick it up with the brush, try to get it evenly distributed, and then I'm just gonna pounce it. I have not set my face with powder. I only set the T-zone. So I'm just gonna go around the perimeter. Okay, I would say it's still kind of cool toned. Like it looks a little cool toned. I'm gonna get some more. Man, it sucks that you can't close it. That's gonna be a mess, I have a feeling. It blends pretty easily though. Like I had a lot on my brush and I kind of put too much right here, but then it blended out very easily. Pretty thin, creamy. So this is the side with it and this is without, although I did put a little bit right there, but it's pretty subtle. And like I said, I got the shade Light Medium, and I would say that I am a light to light medium depending on the time of year. So that seems appropriate. Okay, I am for the hell of it just gonna put it on directly onto my face. Let's see what happens. We got 3 dots there. Okay, that blended extremely easily. I'm gonna step away from this big giant light, go towards some natural light, and come back and give you my thoughts. Give me a second.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I looked at it in front of the mirror and I think it looks pretty good, actually. The color is interesting. I'm not even really sure how to describe it. It is cool toned, but it's not like gray. And now it is claiming to be a contour, so I get that it's not gonna be bronzy, but it's okay. It's not like my favorite color I've ever seen on my face. And then when I went over and I looked at this area where I dotted it on, it is a little patchy, but I also did get my hair colored the other day, so I do have hair dye on the crown of my head. So it could be from that too. I have to keep using it to let you know. But my first impression is if you put it on your hand and then go from your hand to the brush and then go on, it was extremely easy to blend. There was no patchiness on this side at all. It looks pretty seamless. It looks like a natural finish, like it's not overly creamy dewy, but it doesn't look dry or matte. So of course we're gonna let it sit for a while, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm just unsure about the color. You'll have to let me know what you think. I don't know, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Did you pick this up? And if you did, what shade did you get and how is it working out for you? Please let me know. All right, so now we're gonna go into the Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks face palette. I'm so excited to use this. When they showed that they were launching this, I was so excited. I only picked up one. Maybe I will pick up the other one eventually, just like, you know, financially. I didn't really wanna spend a ton of money because I'm buying so much makeup all the time. But this one looks so beautiful. It's the more like muted color story, a little more like just subtle colors, super pretty, but they're still like muted colorful blushes. So I think today I want to use more of like the middle, like the pinky purples to go with the eye look. I also love that they have these two more like brown based blushes. So pretty, so pretty. And of course you can mix and match and jump around. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this big fluffy blush brush that I've used forever. I got it in a BoxyCharm years ago. I'm gonna go in, I'm not sure of the pigmentation of these blushes, so I'm a little nervous. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix Baby Girl and Love Me, like this purple with this pink. I'm gonna just dip back and forth between the two. I'm just gonna pounce it on. Ooh, yeah. Super pretty. That's really pretty. That literally goes perfectly with my crease shades. So that was really easy to apply. They're definitely matte blushes. Like there's no sort of sheen. There's no sort of sparkle or anything like that, which I like a matte blush. So I'm definitely not complaining about that. I'm using a very fluffy brush. So if you use something a little more dense, you would probably get a little more color payoff. But even just that gave me plenty of color. And I like blush, so love that. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna go in with this very fluffy blush brush and I'm gonna go into Baby Girl, this like really pretty light pink that I did mix. And I'm just gonna pop this on top by itself. Very pretty. You know I'm so excited to try these orange blushes when it comes time to do that, but I like it, yes. All right, now I'm gonna go into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the highlight version. And this is in Champagne, which is just like the champagne color, duh. I'm gonna squeeze it open. Yeah, again, it sucks that you can't close this. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think I am. Anyway, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. And then I'm just gonna use my fingers to apply this just to the high points of my cheeks. I don't think I like this. Okay, so I stepped away from the big light went in front of the window over there. I don't know if I love this highlight. I'm so picky with liquid highlights. I feel like the case with a lot of them is what's happening here, where it's a pretty strong base color, so it looks like very stripy, like it's sitting on top of my skin. But this one doesn't have a ton of glow. So it just looks like I've placed like a liquid eyeshadow on my face because it's a pretty strong base, not a ton of shine, but looks metallic without looking like glowy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep using it okay? And of course, all of these products will end up in a speed reviews video in the future, but right off the bat, my first impression is I don't think it's like amazing. Now, I've never used the Charlotte Tilbury versions of these. I don't know how they compare. If you've used both, leave me your thoughts down below. I would love to know. But so far, I like the contour better than the highlighter. All right, we're gonna finish up the eyes. So I'm going to go in with Universal, that like taupey purple. I'm gonna just smudge this along my lower lash line. I'm actually also gonna spray it. I'm gonna go in with the Singe Beauty E05. It's like little tiny fluffy brush. Love these kind of brushes. I'm gonna go in with Universal again, very, very lightly, not spraying it this time, and just brush that underneath. I'm just gonna wipe off that same brush and go into Momentum, this really pretty peachy pink, and just run that underneath. And then I'm gonna go in with the Singe E01, this really nice, like, packing brush that's a little bit thicker and it has a point to it. I'm gonna go into the matte white called Moon. I love that there's a matte white in here. And I'm gonna place this in my inner corner. And it's pigmented. Very nice. And this brush just gets right in there, which I love. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off this lip oil. My lips feel very good. Like they feel hydrated, nice and soft, love it. Which one should I use? Definitely not the orange. I don't think that's gonna go, but maybe one of these. Let's try the purple, just for the fun of it. I wanna use it on its own first. This is the shade Ripe. Let's see how pigmented it is. Wow. It looks pigmented, let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh, these ones are fruity scented. The juice ones. Now I am having to dip back in a couple times to get enough product to cover my lips. It doesn't like completely coat the applicator. So that's what that one looks like without a lip liner. It's a pretty sheer color, but you can see the purple, like it's more of like a jelly tint. They feel very nice. I love the scent of this. It's very subtle, like fruity scent, but I can't taste it or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna pop off camera. I'm gonna put a lip liner on under this, kind of finish up myself, get myself ready. I'll be back to give you my thoughts. Okay, and this is the finished look. What do we think? I think it came out really pretty. So let me give you a little quick rundown of my first impression thoughts on everything. Listen, this is not a review, okay? I am subject to change my mind at any time, the more that I use the products. I do have to keep testing these products to get my final thoughts. But let's start with the eyeshadow palette. I thought it was really easy to use. I would say right off the bat in terms of the mattes, I feel like they're a little bit thinner of mattes, which could be good for you if you don't like tons of pigment right off the bat. I also feel like I definitely could have done my face makeup first. I didn't get fallout with the mattes, which is always a plus for me. And they showed up nice. They were easy to work with. Are they like the most revolutionary mattes ever used? No, but let me keep using the palette. I'm gonna create more looks. I will put this in a palette ranking in the future. I will say the star of the show for me are these shimmers. Like they're very, very pretty. And they are multi-dimensional. They do shift. They are definitely that sparkly metallic, at least the two that I used. And the one Milky Way that is more like has a darker base to it was a little more textured, and the one Stardust that was more of that iridescent shade was a lot smoother. So it looks like, especially like these ones are gonna have more texture to them. So I would definitely suggest using a glitter glue. But the shimmers are definitely the star of the show for this for me. I'm gonna keep using it, but thank you to Ladybug Glow for sending this my way. Then we went on to the e.l.f. cream products. Now, after I went off camera and finished everything up, I did spray a setting spray on my face because my face feels extremely dry today, which, listen, I'm over 35. I feel like if I don't drink the amount of water that I need right when I wake up in the morning or the night before, my skin is a mess. Like my eyes feel so dry. So I did put on the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which I really like for that reason when I'm feeling dry. And I definitely think spraying a setting spray over my complexion helped melt these products in a little bit more. Definitely. So I would suggest that if you have like normal to dry skin and you feel like this doesn't look the best, put on a setting spray, and I feel like it does help melt those liquid products onto the skin. I'm going to continue using these. Absolutely will let you know in the future my thoughts. And then the Blend Bunny blush palette. Like I said, had no issues. They blended easily. They showed up really nicely. I feel like you could build them up a lot if you use a denser brush, which is good for all skin tones, which is great. I'll continue using this and let you know my thoughts. The Singe beauty brushes were incredibly soft. I really enjoyed the shapes. I can tell that these are gonna be go-to brushes for me. Like some of the softest brushes I have in my collection. Absolutely love them. And then the lip oils. So I did put on like a more of a cool tone nude lip liner on underneath this purple one, Ripe. And I love it. It's, again, more of a sheer color. You're not going to get like this deep of a purple. So if you're scared when you look at this and you're thinking, like I don't want a deep purple lip, this is what it looks like. And I did layer it up quite a bit. The ones in the Bring the Juice collection definitely have more of a fruity scent. The ones in the Bare But There have more of a minty scent, but both scents are very subtle. Like I have this one on my lips, I can't smell it anymore. It's only like with application. The formula of this feels really, really nice, really comfortable, oily but not too oily. They've got some zhuzh to them, but they're not overly thick, not overly sticky. I will say the only downside to these that I see right now is that one of my pet peeves with products like this is I don't feel like there's enough product that comes out on the doe foot. So I have to dip in several times and like there's not a nice glide, like there's nothing like a nice glide when it comes to a lip oil or a lip gloss. Am I right? One of the few pleasures of everyday life, in my opinion. So this one's a little rough when it comes to glide factor. But once it's on the lips like it is now, it's very comfortable. So I will keep testing these out. I will let you know my thoughts in a future video. All of these will show up somewhere at some point. All right, and now I want to hear from you. Have you picked any of these products up? If you have, let me know your thoughts on them. Or if you haven't picked them up, what are your thoughts on what I used today? Are you interested in any of them? Are you not interested? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments because I love hearing from you. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.